Hello, everyone. Welcome to CryptoAMALounge. I'm your host, Black Adam. And today we have Corby and creators in the house from Baked Beans V2. Baked Beans V2 is the passive income ROID app that changed 2021 and 2022 for tens thousands of people. So we would be talking to their team, and we will be hearing their story and everything that they faced in 2021 and 2022. So before we get started talking about the Baked Beans V2, Corby, could you please give us a quick background of who you are, what did you do before crypto, and how you got to be working in the crypto space today?
Yeah, so I by daily job right now, I'm a project manager in the construction industry, but I'd gotten into traditional stock market trading about 4 or 5 years ago, and then about a year after that, started to transition into trading of cryptocurrencies, and then it just kind of snowballed from that of going from trading to then learning about DeFi and really just started to get involved in the decentralized finance space. Made a lot of good friends, and here I am now just working in it and absolutely love it. So,
hello. I think I've got it working. Can you guys hear me?
yep.
Sweet. Sorry, sorry for being late, and sorry for the technical issues to begin with. I think that first question was just an introduction. Is that correct, Black Adam?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So
you-
I'm Kratos, the founder of Baked Beans, the original miner, and now Baked Beans 2.0, as well as Toasted AVAX and the other offshoots of the Bakehouse ecosystem. I've been in crypto for nearly 4 years now. I first got into it in pretty much what everyone calls shitcoins, a bit of a degen. Became a little bit famous with getting a tattoo on my rear end, on my ass, with one of the coins I was involved in. And then slowly built up my way up through the community, became like a project manager on a few previous projects, kept trading in the meantime. And then, moved up from project manager into more of the project owner and developing, not so much the coding of developing, but developing projects and building them and release them to the public and the community. Before that, I was actually a chef for 17 years, so I'm quite used to working hard, long hours, something that is, if anyone's worked in hospitality, they'll understand. Now here I am after successfully launching Baked Beans 1. We had a few issues with the contract and then launched Baked Beans 2 with a little bit of a new team and some new mechanics to make it a lot more sustainable and more fruitful for the community and user base.
Oh wow, that's quite a fascinating story and struggling story, I would say. And Corby with the real life experience of real life businesses, and you, Kratos, with a struggling story, and you have been, as you mentioned, that you have been working with other projects, and I think that is a great thing that you have experience for other projects and you know this space. What are the issues or what things those projects like, and you are here with your own projects, so it's really a great thing for me. So I would say, how did you end up started Baked Beans V2 then?
So Baked Beans 2 came about because there was the departure of the separation of the team from Baked Beans 1. Baked Beans 1 was actually really good. It had quite a good success. We got to 35,559 BNB, which is an all-time record for the Binance Smart Chain miners. It hit just under around $15 million TVL, US dollar value at the time when BNB was at a certain price, which was on the 21st of April 2022. There was a few flaws in the contract, some stuff like the referral system. The rewards were too high, and just the way the actual mechanics of it worked. So after a lot, I actually had to have some time off last year due to a family emergency, and then coming back into the team, there was a little bit of a divide between myself and Kay, thanks to one of the other lead team members. So we actually ended up parting ways, and then after a period of time, I waited until Baked Beans had actually hit the original contract because I didn't want to jeopardize him as a business sense of things. I didn't want to jeopardize him or the community already in it. Once that dropped below 50 BNB in the TVL, then obviously had been planning to launch Baked Beans 2. And then once that had happened and it got to a low point, we decided to launch Baked Beans 2, which came out on the 29th of December 2022. And within the first, I think it was 4 hours, we got to 1,000 BNB. So yeah, it was just making a much better, safer, self-sustainable contract that works better for the community. So, yeah, essentially it was just something that I wanted to always do after seeing all the flaws in the original contract, and it just took a certain period of time before we could actually do it. With the TVL being locked, we weren't able to release it or carry over beans or anything to anyone in Baked Beans 2. So it was just a matter of time before we could actually do this.
Yeah, I believe I know baked beans V1. I did some research back then, few months ago, and you guys were doing great with. Yeah, I think that baked beans V1 was doing great, and there were some issues that you mentioned, and you guys fixed it with V2. So let's start about Baked Beans V2 project. So could you please tell us what is the Baked Beans V2 project, what it is, what are the utilities? Can you hear me, Kratos?
Sorry, I'd muted myself. Now I'm unmuting myself. Yes, so Baked Beans 2.0 is a return on investment DApp. Yeah, it's on the Binance Smart Chain, so it operates with BNB. You deposit your money into the TVL, which is then locked, and you can earn, it's a static rewards pool, earning up to 6% daily. So it varies from 3 to 6% depending on your referrals. So we actually implemented a positive referral system with this, which we'll go into a bit more further detail in a minute. Once you deposit your BNB into the contract, you get what's called beans. Those beans kind of essentially work for you and get your rewards each day. So you start off at 3% rewards. The more referrals you get, you can earn up to 6%. These referrals that you bring on board have to deposit 0.5 BNB to then be a valid referral. And then the more you referrals, bacon buddies, as we call them at the bottom of the DApp, the more bacon buddies you get referred, the higher you can have your daily percentage. There's some few other mechanics in the contract that pump out your rewards, and what you can do is there's 3 buttons on the DApp: buy beans, rebake, and eat beans. Buy beans will take the BNB out of your wallet and buy your beans. The rebake button is compounding, so once you get to 0.01 BNB, you can rebake your beans, which is then compounding, which adds to the TVL and gets you'll be earning 3% on your invested BNB amount. And then eat beans, which is taking your rewards. So that will get your rewards that have accumulated in BNB and deposit them back into your wallet. The referral system, there is a few mechanics in the contract which make it self-sustainable in the sense of helping feed the TVL if you try and sort of cheat this too early. If anyone's not sure what cheating is, it's say someone does a 3x or a 5x, it's just selling your whole bag out of a project or out of a token or whatever. So we've got kind of the anti-cheat measure, which is what we call the has-been tax. The has-been tax starts on the first day. So as soon as you deposit, within 0 to 24 hours, so up until the 24-hour period, you are taxed 90%. Then from the 25th to the 48th hour, you are taxed 80%. And that goes all the way down to day 10. So once you get to day 10 and you're on the 216th to the 240th hour, you actually only incur the standard fees, which is 5% on the withdrawals and then 1% if you make a deposit. Now with the fees as well, so 5% of all of those fees that are taken out on the standard fees, so deposit and withdrawals, 5% is fed automatically back into the TVL. With the has-been tax, there's 50% of that goes straight back into the TVL as well. So if you were to eat, say, 1 BNB on the first day, you're only going to receive 0.1 back into your wallet, and 50% will go back into the TVL, and then 50% will go to what we have as a giveaway and external revenue wallet. This is a wallet we use to feed the competitions and be able to have some community engagement, and that way that we can keep giving back to the community, and then also promoting our brand and making it as big and as well known as possible around the world. while also trying to build that up to a certain amount of money that then we can start using it for external revenue. So for Pionex bots or Bybit trading and Pancake's pools and syrup pools, liquidity farming if necessary, and if we find them valid. I think that's that's pretty much the overshot of the whole project.
Yeah, that was really something great. So, will you guys be sharing your screen? If it would be very great if you guys could show us an example that how people can bake their beans and how rebake beans and eat beans work. So, is it possible for you guys right now, or we can just are there any tutorials so that people can watch and learn about everything that is necessary for baking the beans on Baked Beans V2?
Yeah, sure. If you give me a minute, I'll set up my screen to be able to show you. If you've got any other questions, just while I'm getting it set up, Corby, I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to answer any of them. And if Tenjin is in the house as well, he's actually one of the other community leaders and core team members. If he's in here, raise your hand because these two are my partners, which will be able to help. So just give me a minute and I'll set that up.
Yeah, he can raise the hand. I can unmute him. And I wanted to know what is the minimum amount that users can bake on the baked beans?
So it's 0.01 BNB for rebaking your rewards. So the kind of
Yeah,
reason that we did that is just so because in a lot of previous miner projects, you see where people they're rebaking so early that they're actually paying the same amount in gas that they are just to rebake. So that was just kind of a measure that we put into this contract for that reason.
Yeah, I think that's a very little amount, and people should try this baking of beans, and they can check that how it can benefit them. So I think it's really a great idea to set the minimum amount very little, so everyone can afford it. So I have a few more questions. So how does the daily reward system work in Baked Beans V2, and how does it relate to the amount of beans a user holds?
So with this protocol, the rewards are static. So there's not any inflationary mechanisms in this contract. So regardless if you bought beans on launch day or you buy them right now, you are getting the exact same BNB to beans that everybody gets throughout the entire life of the contract. So it's not that traditional where you have to keep compounding to try to outpace this inflationary draw on it because you have all these early investors that get in and they have so many more beans or whatever compared to you that they're able to do this big pull on it. Now with static rewards for everyone it's an equal playing field in that perspective.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing in your project. The equalness, the equality you guys have given to early investors and to the late investors, it's really great. So, can you explain the difference between the minimum deposit for baking beans and the recommended amount for rebaking beans?
So then minimum deposit, I believe, is 0.012, and it'll actually show that when Kratos gets the DApp all pulled up on here. One thing that's kind of also interesting with this contract is that if a user does a very small deposit and is not able to hit that minimum rebaking within the 24 hours, there is another strategy involved that they can do to help build up their wallet so that they can start rebaking on that 24-hour cycle. And with that is that being that the rewards are static and there's not the inflationary pressure on it, is if they wanted to, they could just not rebake for 9 days and then eat on that 216 to 240th hour, redeposit that, and then that would increase their wallet. So then they'd be able to start rebaking in that 24-hour cycle.
Yeah, everything you said then was correct. So it's 0.01 BNB to for deposit and to rebate compound. I'm ready to share my script. Share screen. Can everyone see that? All good?
I can see it.
Sweet. Here we go. So this is the our DApp, the baked beans DApp. I've just used one of my own referral links here, just to make it simple. Down on the bottom here, you need to have used a referral link from someone that has already made a deposit. Now, to have a valid referral and it come up down the bottom here, that's got the 0 in the Bacon Buddies. To make that actually valid, like I said a little bit earlier, you need to deposit 0.5 BNB. It says down here. So with the referral system as well, you earn 5% of the downline BNB deposited. This isn't taken out of your deposit. It comes out of the amount being deposited via the contract. So it's no jeopardy to yourself when making a deposit. The only thing I'm going to lose here is the 1% fees that we use for the marketing and the growth of our brand to be able to make further developments moving forward. So when you have got the referral at the top here, you want to make sure that you have this whole referral at the end. So that HTTPS, www with the ref, with the whole wallet address here. You need to connect your wallet via MetaMask. I have a MetaMask wallet. You can set 0.6 BNB. I'm going to make a deposit of 0.5. If you try and connect on the Ethereum network, you'll see any of the other networks that aren't BSC, you'll come up with a change to network warning, which we had a mistake the other week where someone actually has deposited ETH into the contract, which we thought was pretty funny. So we put this warning up to stop that from happening. You see that the contract balance is at 4,653 BNB, around $1.4 million at the moment. I haven't used this wallet before. This on the top right, you'll see that the green has lit up, showing that your wallet is connected. So in the middle here, I'm just going to deposit 0.5 BNB. Once you've got 0.5 BNB there, it'll have buy beans. See that lights up. You can click this one here. You get the warning for not the warning, so the confirmation for your the transaction to go through. Just confirm that one. Let's see here. Just give it a minute. You'll see here buying beans. It's just pending. There you go. So buy beans. That 0.5 has just gone through. Just give it a refresh. And there you are. So you'll see here that your BNB invested is 0.495. So I've lost the little bit for the dev fees. And you see the beans count is at 495,000. And it's already started accumulating a little bit instantly. So I'll earn 3% on this one straight away, just because I don't have any referrals yet. I'll show everyone just quickly here. So I think that's everything. And then if I needed to compound, I don't really want to show my other wallet just for personal safety and things like that. But if once here gets to 0.01 BNB in the Your Bean rewards, down underneath the buy beans and above the rebake eat beans button, if that was to get to 0.01, all I do is click rebake. At this moment, it won't work. So if it's not working, either come into the chat and ask. We'll probably tell you what I'm about to see now, but it just won't work due to not having the rewards accumulated. Once you do have the rewards accumulated, you can click rebake, and then the same transaction confirmation will come up on your MetaMask wallet, approve it, and that rebake will go through. Now we do have what's called, come up here, this thing that says hyper baking, hyper compounding, which is every time it hits 0.01. So during the day when you're awake, if you're working at your computer, you can just rebake as often as you like, as many times as you like in that period of time that has been taxes on. And then you can earn the 3% on your 216th to 240th hour. So once you do have the 0.01 BNB or more, you can eat the beans. Obviously, you can yes. So you can eat the beans. This will come up now again, and you just confirm, and the beans will come back into your, the BNB will come back into your wallet. So that's pretty much it there. We do have, show everyone this, the has been tax. So in our white paper, which is at the links at the bottom here, it's the third one along. It looks like a little book. You have all the links to all of our other socials as well. On the bottom, so once you click the Git book link, you'll come up to our white paper, which is just pretty standard. Goes through the introduction, the executive summary, just a little bit of brief background about who we are, what we do. Then it runs through on how to access it. Use these buttons here, just pretty much everything I've told you here. Now, the has-been tax is one of the most important things that I'd like everyone to kind of be cautious of. As I said, it's quite high. So if I was to eat between now and 24 hours from now, I will get taxed 90%. So whatever my accumulated rewards are, I'm only going to see 10% of it. Then making sure I will now wait via the timer, which is under here. So the time passed since the last eat. I'll just refresh this. You'll see that it's at 2 minutes now. So once that hits 216 hours, 217th hour, just to be safe, I can eat and I won't be charged. I'll just be charged the standard fees. So that is the safest time to eat. Now, if you missed that, we do have a sheet in our Baked Beans Discord chat, which can give you the hours if you want to wait till the 20th day or the 30th day. So I think it's 456 to the 480th hour, which is the second day you can eat on. So we've got a few people that are just baking, compounding, up until the 20th or the 30th day. I know I'm personally doing it until the 30th day and will be eating then to get my initial out of every project. I always tell people to get your initial out of every project and then ride the wave. The other thing is as well, so we do have a max wallet of 200 BNB. So the most you'll be able to manually deposit, so via personal deposits, is 200 BNB. Once you have got to 200 BNB, you will not be able to deposit anymore. You can still compound higher than 200 BNB. It will just give you a higher return on investment. So that as well works with the referral system. So when you do compound and you have, when you do refer and you get more people on board, you will see that your rewards go up to 3.5 to 4.5%, to 6%. I'll show you guys that. They've been fantastic referrals. So just here, you have the 1 to 9 referrals, just gives you the 3% daily returns. 10 to 24 will give you 0.5 daily extra, so it's a 3.5. 25 to 49 will give you 1% daily extra. 50 to 99 will give you 1.5, 4.5% daily. 100 to 149 referrals will give you 2% daily bonus, so that'll be 5% daily returns. 150 to 249 will give you 2.5% daily bonus, which is 5.5% daily returns. And then 250 plus, which we haven't had anyone actually reach yet, is 3% daily extra. So that'll just get you your return on investment faster. Remembering again that you need your referrals to do a 0.5 BNB deposit. Then there is also the max withdrawal. So you can only ever withdraw 300% of your BNB deposited per wallet. So that being, if you deposited 200 BNB, you're only ever going to be able to take out 600 BNB from that wallet. Even with the referral system being used, you'll be able to get your return on investment faster, but you still won't be able to jeopardize that protocol, making it quite sustainable and safe. Then the max accumulation is also 5 BNB. So back on the DAP here, if you get to your bean rewards and that hits 5 BNB accumulated, it will actually stop at 5 BNB. The most you can eat is 5 BNB. If you are within those has-been tax days, I'd probably recommend to compound, unless you do want to suffer the tax. If you don't want to suffer the tax, you can let it sit for a couple of days, or if it's only a few hours off, then you can just wait and eat. Eating will actually reset your timer as well. Only eats reset the timer. If I'm to make a new deposit tomorrow, it will only give me, it won't reset the timer. I think that's everything I need to
kind
show
of on that note, Kratos, too, that how the eats reset the timer, that also does provide an anti-whale mechanism in the contract. Because if someone, they're like, well, I hit 5 BNB in 3 days. If they eat on that 3rd day, or let's just say for easy math, on the 5th day, they're going to get that 50% tax. What's going to reset? So if they eat again on the next 5th day, they're still hitting 50% tax. So they're only ever still in that 10-day cycle able to pull out 5 BNB. There's no way of beating the system in that respect. So that's where another thing that, just so we don't have this big drain on big whales involved in the protocol.
Yeah, I believe this was a really great presentation and the examples, the presentation you did. I think everything is now clear. It's a great user interface that even I think new user can get familiar with it. So I hope everybody is now familiar with baked beans, how they can rebake, they can eat their beans. So I think everything should be clear. I have a question, Kratis. Consider a situation where if I have already invested my beans and later on I want to invest more into that pool, and there are many rewards, or there are any rewards accumulated at that time. So where will these rewards go? And is it possible that I eat some certain percentage of the beans from that pool?
If you have any beans rewards accumulated, so if I have, say, 0.1 accumulated and I make a new deposit, it will take all the new deposit and your rewards and put them back into the TVL. So that will all be accumulated to your balance that's sitting in there that you have invested. Then the second part of that question was, sorry?
I said that can I eat some certain percentage from the beans while they are in the baking process?
No. So if you have, say I had again 0.1 BNB accumulated, and you cannot choose to only eat, say, half of that, you would have to eat all of it. And then if you wanted to, you can deposit however much you liked back in. This also is going to help. So say if you are a smaller investor that's only deposited 0.2 or 1 BNB or 5 BNB, and you wanted to make it up to 20 BNB so that you could take out 60 eventually, if that was your end goal, then my recommendation would be every time you do eat and you have the 0.2 BNB rewards, so to take out 0.2, maybe take 50%, take 0.1 and use that as your income, just the passive income that we're trying to create, and then put the other 0.1 back into the TVL. Because with that 0.1, you can end up taking out 0.3, being 300% of everything that you manually add. So it's also helping the project and then helping your own investment.
Yeah, and just one thing to clarify on that is that you're compounding your rewards. That does not increase your max 300%. It's only 300% off of what you manually deposit into the contract. So you accumulate rewards quicker, but it does not increase your max withdrawal without inputting more into the contract. So you hit your 300%, then your rewards will stop. But if you choose to, then you can make an additional deposit to keep those rewards coming to you.
Yeah, I understand that. And I know that you mentioned about the referral system. You guys have some really great mechanism for referral. People can use this referral system and they can earn a lot more. But while going through the white paper, I read an example of a one-time referral that the beans a person get are deducted with the 6% fee, 5% included for referral and 1% for marketing fee. So suppose if someone isn't using any referral of someone, so does it mean if he don't choose the referral, then 5% won't be deducted from his beans, or where will these 5% go if he is not using any referral?
So that's correct. So if you do not use a referral, you will only suffer the 1% loss, which is the deposit fees.
So don't you think it will discourage people to use anybody's referral because they will be deducted with 5%, and if they don't, they won't be deducted with 5%?
I think there's a bit of confusion there because there isn't actually, if you use someone's referral link, you don't actually, the only loss that every time you suffer is the 1%, even with a referral link or not. So the 5% comes from the beans count. So if I use a referral link, it's just give you 5% extra beans when using the referral link. It doesn't actually take it out of your deposit. So I think, and I've actually had a few people bring this up about the white paper. I need to run through it and kind of reword it just so that it's not as confusing as what it seems. So using the referral system, you only suffer the 1% loss, which is the standard fees.
Yeah, it's clear now. It's much better. It's clear now. I was just confused, so I think I should ask this. Okay, and you guys are, I think we have been talking about how people can earn some percentages by baking their beans. But as you have a community weekly jackpot or giveaway, so does it mean only the holders are eligible, or you do giveaways to the community to engage them? And is there any giveaway contest currently running so people who are hearing us or who are joining this AMA can also participate in the contest?
So we've had, well, I've actually lost count and how many competitions we've actually had in the 2.5 weeks that we've been running for. We finished a shield competition 2 days ago. Yeah, we had a TikTok competition as well, which is running at the moment. So it's a dance TikTok competition. So the most, Corby actually came up with that one. So I'll let him finish that off. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you're invested or not. So the idea about the competition, the giveaway, well, is brand exposure, especially across the social medias, and making sure that everyone knows about us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the important places. We have everything that's tracked via tiny URL links. So we actually know where we're getting the clicks from, how many per day, and then we're able to use that analytical data to produce more competitions and then get traction as well. So it's all about community engagement, which kind of rolls onto the marketing side of things as well. The more people that we can have join the competitions and then help work for their own bags, essentially, and then help grow the baked beans brand across the world, then that's the bigger and better it's going to be. So no, you don't actually have to be invested. If you are interested, it's a bonus, because then the more people you come in, if we've had a few people that have already used their own referral links and placed YouTube ads up, place Google ads up and things like that. Especially with Baked Beans 1, I know there was a big handful of people that were doing their own Facebook ads, their own other ads all around the place, just with their links attached. They'll pay for it out of their own pocket because they knew that they were going to get the rewards back. So yes, we do give the giveaway wallet and use it for the competitions to help just entice people, because everyone loves free money. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more competitions you can run with 0.25, 0.5 BNB, then they'll enter it. So yeah, that's the idea behind that. And yeah, Colby, do you want to quickly go through the TikTok comp?
Yeah, so we currently have a TikTok. We currently have a TikTok competition going right now for a half a BNB for the video with the most views, and then we're doing a second place for the video with the most likes, and the winner of that will get 0.25 BNB.
Wow, that's really a great thing. After we finish up the AMA, you can just DM me the information about that TikTok content, so I can just pin that post in our main chat, so people interested or influencers that are in here can join this contest as well. Okay, I have a couple of more questions myself, and I'll be taking some community questions. So while I was doing some research about your project a few months back, when I looked at your project's roadmap, there was a plan for online store. So is that store live or still in development, or you guys removed that part from the roadmap, or it is live and for the current time?
So that's actually part of the old Bakehouse ecosystem, which K-Thanks Buy was left in charge with. He had all the control and power left for that one. No, there isn't actually a merchandise store at the moment. We are coming out with some further developments, which will be released soon over a period of time. And then with that, there's definitely going to be some merchandise. I'm still waiting to hear back from the sticker company to be able to get these personalized QR code stickers up. And then other things as well, because I know there's still people out there that are using their Bakehouse mugs and hoodies and things like that. So I personally want a baked beans bean bag just so I can chill out on it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to use our new design and the new logo for all of this merchandise moving forward. So that store will be coming. It's just one of the developments that we're coming out with.
Okay, understood that. Okay, so apart from baking beans, so is there any plan that do you guys have to have any real life utility or value outside of the baked beans D app? making it a low risk investment. And I suppose that your team members have some experiences from real life businesses as well.
Yes, so we definitely do. The making it a low risk investment, it's crypto, right? So at this point in time, as we've seen the last couple of days, it's very volatile, and something like a return on investment DApp, I don't think will be ever known as low risk. What we have done is create the mechanics of the contract to make it as sustainable and self-sustainable as possible, so that we can manage to keep it around for a very long time. So the baked beans one was around for 1 year. We're definitely trying to push through that and make this one last a lot longer. The utility behind it, that's a little bit of a difficult question. It kind of doesn't need a utility, if that makes sense. The utility in itself is what we do behind the scenes, being able to keep producing the marketing and being able to grow the brand. So the baked beans brand is quite well known, and being able to get the exposure to as many people across the DeFi community, and especially passive income community. So as you saw, the DApp is pretty easy to use, pretty simple, with a few YouTube explanations of how to set up a MetaMask wallet, how to connect it to the Binance Smart Chain, and then how to buy and deposit BNB. It wouldn't take that long for anyone with to figure it out and then to be able to use it. So we have kept the DApp quite simple and effective. So it's simple, reliable, and rewarding is what we kind of go by, so that anyone outside of the crypto space can then learn how to use it. We have had a few YouTubers that carried over from Baked Beans 1, which had never invested in crypto before, and Baked Beans was their first one. So trying to bring those people back into this one as the bull market starts to appear again this year is definitely what we're aiming for. Just with the marketing as well, our Love Beans, our marketing lead, he has had his background is all in marketing. He's grown hospitality brands in Southeast Asia from 2 or 3 restaurants to over 100 restaurants. He's owned restaurants and then had them sold off for quite large profits to be able to then, with what he does and how he goes about things, is extremely. I've learned a hell of a lot working with him. I'm so glad that I was able to bring him on with Baked Beans 1, because just the little things that he's been able to teach myself to then be able to develop this project and make it as best as possible is kind of where our point of difference is to other people. They don't quite know how to engage with the community properly. They don't know how to market things in the sense of actual real marketing, rather than just posting and having like a partnership. Wow, we just got a new partnership. We did this. 99% of all our posts are engaging. They want you to do something with them. We continually run competitions. There's a few little tweaks on our DApp that other people haven't picked up on, or they might have picked up on it, and then when we explain it, they're just like, that's really smart. And again, with our tiny URL links, we know with the Chinese marketing over the past week that we've been doing, we've seen the increase of the people that have been touching and clicking on the DApp and clicking on our links from the Chinese region and even outside of that as well. So each time we do videos, each time we pay for things, we watch it extremely meticulously to then be able to bring it to the rest of the world. So that's kind of where our utility is in behind the scenes and being able to market this and get it seen to everyone.
I think kind of one thing too, if we're talking utility, is that we saw how powerful a really strong community behind the project and how that carried Baked Beans version 1 so far. And that's also why we're so into community engagement and being there for the community, because we understand that's a very big part of the project itself.
Yeah, I think community is the backbone of any project, and convincing them and letting them know that how you guys can bring benefits to them and engaging them is really necessary for a project to survive. And I know you guys have been in this space for a year, and you guys survived the bear market, and I think it's a long-term investment kind of project. I have been in this space for years, and I saw projects coming and earning some money, but they're short-term kind of investment. People just believe in moonshots, and so I think this is not a moonshot kind of project, but people can invest in it, and they can see some really great rewards for the long period of time. So one or two things I have with myself. So I would like to ask. So On the white paper, you guys are targeting the influencers. It's mentioned that you guys are targeting the influencers and retail investors. I think some of the retail investors, there could be, for some of the retail investors, there could be some language barriers or a knowledge of crypto as it requires access to Web3 browser or wallet extension and a certain level of technical knowledge. So how do you plan to achieve this object, or is there any plan to approach some local retail investors to invest in the project or onboard them onto Baked Beans V2?
So yeah, we actually have, so with the language one, we've migrated from Telegram to Discord just for several reasons due to Telegram one being quite toxic. There's a lot of FUD, a lot of bot attacks, just not being quite as safe and set up as well as what Discord is. So migrating over to Discord has made it a lot easier for everything to be in one place. We've got like a suggestion channel, a memes fund channel, referral channel. We have when we open up competitions, then you can post all of the competition entries into it. And then also like the media, so the YouTube, Twitter, all of our Twitter posts get automatically posted straight to Discord. Then with the regional chats, we have French, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, Hindi, Saudi Arabian or Arabic, Tagalog for Philippines, German and Italian chats. So they're starting to slowly fill up. We do have, there's at least one mod in each one of those chats that can speak the language. Just at this point in time, we don't need many more, just they're taking their time to sort of slowly fill up, just as we target certain regions. But we will have the white paper updated and released in each language so that you can be able to read it in Italian, German, Arabic, French, any of those languages to make it a lot easier for people. And with the retail investors, that's kind of going back to making the DApp so simple and having it effective to use, bringing in the investors in the other sense. You might see some of the other miners and websites and user interfaces are quite difficult to understand. There's lots of functions, there's lots of questions that then get asked. But if you have a look at Baked Beans, it's very simple. So, like I said before, it's not too difficult to use to set up. Anyone that's going to be wanting to invest their money should just do the basic research in how to go about things and how to keep themselves safe. But yeah, it's the retail investors are the people that are the majority of our focus and our target, not so much the larger players here, because it's just not something like what we have created isn't necessarily for them. Yes, we do have some of them on board, but the retailers, that's exactly where we're focusing and trying to bring in the smaller fish, let's just say. So people, the average person.
Okay, that's really great. So I think that's all from my side. So before we get to some audience questions, is there anything that we have not covered that you would like to tell our community about?
Yeah, I'll just go back briefly on the community and what Colby said a few minutes ago, is the fact that people ask, is this safe and are we going to rug or anything like that? So the contract is renounced, it's immutable. We cannot change it now. It was kept as a proxy contract with a few functions that we could take out before we renounced it. It's extremely safe in the sense that I've spent many, many years, thousands and thousands of hours building my own name up into the whole community of DeFi, into many, many different chats to be able to provide that extra layer of security with people. Also having my voice AMAs, which a lot of other projects don't manage to do as well. And just trying to provide safety in that sense. I just don't think it's safe to dox, to be able to show my face, just due to having a young daughter that obviously I want to protect. Family is quite important. But if anyone wants to know, it is safe. I've been rugged and scammed many, many times before. I've also been hacked before. It's never pleasant losing money. All I like doing is giving back to people and making sure that their money is safe in what we can do and what we can provide here.
Yeah, I agree with you, because this space is full of scammers and people that are trying to steal your money. So be safe in this space. Do your own research for anything. Do not click on the links or download the files from anyone that you don't know, that don't do anything like clicking on the link from unknown sources. So be safe out there in this space. So community members, please raise your hand for asking the questions. We have few minutes left, so I would like to take as many questions as I can. So we have a lot of hands up. So just a second.
I'm happy to stay. I'm happy to stay on for a few minutes because I was late, so I do apologize for that again.
Yeah, it's okay with us. Okay, Marcus Lemar. Marcus Lemar, you are allowed to speak, man. Marcus, you are unmuted. You can ask your question.
Going once.
No.
Twice.
Okay, let's move on. I see Aisha. Aisha, you can ask your question. You are muted.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. So I've seen solar farm miners. I don't know if you are familiar with them. Their team is claiming on their Medium page that Baked Beans version 2.0 is vulnerable to malicious users because users withdrawing and then depositing the withdrawals in order to withdraw even more without adding more real value to the protocol. And solar farm miners have developed fresh value system for their Solar Kingdom static reward pool to avoid this concern. I want to ask, is this claim correct? And what are your thoughts on this matter?
Can I ask? I'm going to actually DM you. I haven't seen that article yet. Can you forward that article to me? I can tell you now that if they're not adding more BNB back into the TVL, they're not going to be able to withdraw any extra. So just from the outside of from what I can gather from what you've mentioned is no, that it can't be maliciously attacked in that sense. That they would, yeah, it's a little bit confusing. I might need to read the article and then be able to get back to you in DMs for that. So, yeah, I'm not sure that being able to take out withdrawals and then deposit it back in, they're still going to lose the has-been tax that they're doing it within that the first 10 days. If they do it within the first 10 days, then they're actually losing money themselves. Everything that we thought about. So I've obviously come from Baked Beans 1 and run that and found all the flaws in it with all the other miners and how they go about things. Both Corby and I spent hours and hours and very difficult, hard conversations on changing, updating, developing the contract and then having it written by Jack too. And then as well, he had lots of ideas as well because he's the dev of Frosty Flakes. So yeah, those conversations we had resulted in what we came up as the best mechanical contract that we've actually seen in Binance Smart Chain. I don't think that anyone has been able to produce one as safe and as sustainable as what we have.
And then just kind of on that note too is that with how, even if we are going to start looking at external revenue, that is generated from the giveaway wallet that's generated from the has-been tax, where I've seen other protocols, they're taking money out of the TVL to use for investments, and then somehow with whatever happens, they end up losing money. In this protocol, we are never taking any money out of the TVL. That's locked in there. We can't touch it. We'll be taking money from the giveaway wallet to then generate more money to inject into the TVL.
Understood. That makes sense. Thank you so much. Thanks for answering.
No worries. And I did just DM you, Aisha, to hopefully get that Medium article from you, please. And if there is a complication or whatever, I'll definitely be able to answer it properly in DMs.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aisha, for your research, and it was a great question. Okay, I have another person muted. It's Tweet. Tweet, you're unmuted.
Hello, good evening. Am I audible?
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for muting me. I want to ask, how is Baked Beans going to maintain a constant bear pressure being that because from your website I saw that I think majority of the money you are using for to pay the money you are using to pay for the money you are using to give reward is coming from your buy tax and your set tax. So how are you going to maintain a constant buy pressure? Because I know that I saw something about the referral program whereby you said if I'm to qualify to start referring or getting my referral code, I have to have a minimum of 0.5 BNB worth on the baked beans. So I'm asking how you are going to maintain a constant debt pressure. What's going to happen if people stop referring, or if referrals become slow, being that the referral the minimum amount before someone can start referring is that high. Did you get my question?
I think so. So essentially, what you're asking is if no more people come in, what will happen?
No, I'm asking how you are going to maintain a constant debt pressure, being that I think the old stuff is more about referrals. It's geared towards referrals, because I see that the money you are paying as reward is coming from buy and sell tax. So it means that the more people comes, or the more people buy, or the more people come into the more people get the whole idea, or the more people start using, or the more people buy baked beans, the more revenue you get. So what if people like referrals become slow? So are you going to maintain a constant buy pressure?
So one dynamic with this protocol is that because we have the 300% max payout on it, that if people then upon hitting that want to reinvest into the contract, they can make another manual deposit and still be able to get 300% of their manual deposit. So throughout the entire life of this contract, there will always be people reinvesting back into it. So we're going to be able to maintain a constant, steady flow of BNB that will always be recycled back into the contract. So you won't see in like a traditional inflationary protocol where you get a mad rush of people investing for the first 2 weeks, and then it just exponentially drops off at the end.
Exactly why I was asking, because I've seen something like that in real life scenario, whereby the whole stuff is about maybe a referral program, and then when people just newly get awareness about it, people flocking, and when after some times things begin to go down, and boom, that's the end. But thanks for answering my question anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Tweety. And we have other people raising their hands. So, Vincent, you're allowed to speak, brother.
Hello, Black Adam. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. My question is, after the project, I was going through the website and I noticed that there's a place you say that one has to deposit 0.5 BNB in order for referrals link to be activated. So I want to know what the deposited BNB is used for, and do you have any plans to reduce it in the future to enable some users who wasn't able to afford it now to be able to afford it, later on?
So one thing, you got this one, or you want me to?
No, you can go for it, man. Thank you.
Okay. So part of why we have that minimum deposit for the referral system is because if we had it set at, say, 0.01 BNB, then it brings in the scenario that someone can try to game the referral system, where they could do 200 wallets with 0.01 BNB to then boost their daily percentage. So right now, as it sits, that if you wanted to hit that 250 referrals, you would need to have 125 BNB split across all these wallets to then be able to boost one. And through the mechanics of the contract, yes, you could do it, but it would not really be advantageous for you to do that at all. It'd be probably more detrimental to you. And that was why that mechanic was put in place.
Okay, cool. So what happens to the 0.5 BNB? Can one recover it maybe in a, let me say in a scenario he wasn't able to, reach the mark, or maybe have some pressing issues he needs to use the money for. Can one still withdraw the BNB after depositing it?
So your deposits are always going to be locked into the contract, because it's not like a staking protocol where you can take it out when you need to. And that's just the nature of the contract. And being that it is immutable, there's no way for us to take that money out of the TVL. I think if you do a 9-to-1 compound to EAT ratio, you will ROI in around 60 days. And then after that, then you're just collecting straight profits out of it.
Okay, great. Great explanation. Thanks, Black Adam, for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much, Vincent. We'll take one or two more questions as we are running out of time. So, just a second. Jerry, you are allowed to speak, brother. Jerry, you're unmuted. You can ask your question if you have any.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, my question is about decentralization. Can you please highlight more on the decentralization?
There's so much noise
Yeah.
coming from your mic. We can't hear you, Jerry.
You can hear me?
Yeah, a little
Hello.
better. Yeah, ask your question.
Yes. Yes. My question is that can you please highlight more on the decentralization aspect of using your technology? Also, in future, is it possible to quantify the level of decentralization and economic decentralization?
So I only got the first part of that question. The decentralized aspect isn't up to us. That's just where we are, and this type of the financial industry, I suppose you want to call it. This is decentralized finance in the sense of it operating separately from centralized finance, being banks and financial institutions. So being a Web3 product and having a Web3 dApp and the browser extension, that is decentralized as such, per se. So, yeah, and then the rest of it kind of cut off there. I didn't hear the end of it.
Yeah, I think that answers his question. Okay, I see some people are sending the questions in the chat. Rachel is asking, why is there no detailed information about tokenomics in your white paper? She said that, well, I guess it should be more explanatory. So
it's not a token, so we don't need tokenomics. It's a simple and easy answer. It's not like your traditional token where you buy into it and it has all that sort of stuff. It's a return on investment dApp. If you're not quite sure what that is, I'd recommend going to moonarch.app, so moonarch.app, and then having a look on there at what type of project we actually are. It's not a token or a shitcoin.
Yeah, Rachel, I think you should just read the white paper and do your own research more about baked beans. And listen, if you have still questions, you can reach out to them on their Discord. And there's one more question from I hope Kurdish Crypto. He's saying that if I don't withdraw on day 10 and withdraw on day 20, will my rewards become 0 rewards accumulated before day 10, or how will it work?
No, so there's two options there. You can either compound as much as you like up until day 20. So if you miss day 10, so if it goes to the 241st hour on the DAP, you can then just keep compounding, or you can let it accumulate and sit there, just as long as it doesn't hit the 5 BNB accumulation for the max rewards per time. If it doesn't hit the 5 BNB and say it might get 2.2 or 3.8 BNB on the 20th day, it's still at it's 3% per day. We don't just take your funds. We can't take your funds. Anything that you're investing, it's 3% per day. And then on the 20th day, so it's the 456th to the 480th hour, then you can eat your beans in that period of time, and you will only have the deposit taxes rather than any of the has-been tax.
Yeah, I hope this answers their questions. Okay, Kratos and Corby, it was our pleasure to have you guys in here. I really admire all the things you guys have, and it's been one of my favorite AMA about ROI. I really love the energy and commitment you guys have with this project to keep on improving it, and you guys survived this bear market and have been in this space for very long, so I appreciate that. And if you have any last words, floor is yours.
I'd just thank everyone for their time today or this evening. Sorry I was late again. If you do have any questions again, like Black Adam just mentioned, jump into our Discord chat. So on the bottom of the DAP, I've sent him the TikTok competition as well. So that's actually got a link to Discord as well. Feel free to come into our Discord. You'll have to do the welcome message and then select your role, which will be the language flag. So if you do speak Hindi or if you do speak Portuguese or Spanish, then click on that flag and you'll have access to that international language channel. We have the moderators in there that can help you answer any of your questions. So again, just thanks for your time, and I appreciate being here today.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having us on too. And then like Kratos said, if you have questions, feel free to come into the chat. And we also on the daily have been getting more and more YouTube videos in other languages too. So if you know someone that English may not be their first language, it's a great resource to show them a YouTube video in their native language so they can better understand the protocol.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, one last thing. I think Tweety is trying to ask, like, do Baked Beans project have plans to open a Telegram community?
We have an announcement channel, but we will not be having a chat channel in Telegram. And that's just kind of what we just mentioned earlier. It's been a lot easier for us just to keep the channel more organized using Discord, because we have sections for all of the information for people to reference when they have questions.
Also, I'd just like to quickly add, Aisha, that the Medium article that you sent me through, that's not our project. That's a completely different project. So I can't answer that question for you, sorry. Oh, hang on. It's yeah, that's not our project. So that's a completely different project. They may have forked our contract, which happened a lot. And I will advise people, like I always do with Baked Beans 1, be wary of all the forks. There was, I think, over 120 forks of our contract at Baked Beans 1, maybe more now. And I'd say 99% of them all rugged and scammed. So if you want to feel safe, again, hopefully I can assure you of my safety just personally and the way I've gone about things, that Baked Beans 2.0 is safe. We will never rug, we can't rug, and it's just not something I could do to anyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being in here. It was really a great, awesome AMA. Thank you so much.
Thanks again. Have a great evening.